Hey guys, Kev here, and this is my third attempt trying to film this. My kiddo kept coming in, and then, yeah. So this is the Dark Bolt Designs Arcus. So this is the Arcus, and then they have another one I think called the Stratus, and this is the sheep's foot. You can see there it's in 20 CV, and this has a couple of cool features, and then there's a couple of things that I take gripe with a little bit. And then it's kind of just up to you if, you know, those things bother you. But overall, I think the knives are cool. They're different, you know, which is nice. So this is G10, titanium pocket clip, and 20 CV blade steel. You don't see that a whole lot. And they're 170 bucks or 160 bucks. And they are OEM'd by We Knives out of China. So I think for 160, 170 bucks, the materials make sense. I have no issue with that. It is a machine set, and I wish it was like a, you know, belt or a stonewash, but that's personal preference. They do have a hollow grind. It's a short grind, but it is hollow, so that's kind of nice. It is sharp. It's going to be We 20 CV, so it'll be good. They asked me to check this out because I'm left-handed, and they wanted to get feedback from a lefty reviewer, I guess. And I would say it's definitely lefty-friendly. It just doesn't have a reversible clip. I wish they would have added that feature. Just would have been one screw hole here. And maybe a little bit of milling, but I don't think it would have taken away. It's not like this is a super premium aesthetic knife. So it would have been fine. But in terms of functionality, you have the button, and you can easily use that left-handed. You can thumb flick it. The stud is a little closer to the frame on this side than this side, but that goes both ways because that's what she said, because you can reverse flick this easier left-handed, and then you just have to get a little tighter on the thumb flick. You have the front flipper, which I wish came up a little higher or out a little bit or something. I'm not quite sure why it's jimped all the way back here. Like, to here makes sense, but all of this doesn't, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, you know, you can't use that. And when it's open, none of that is visible, so I don't see the point in that, but whatever. Aesthetic. It has a flipper tab. The detent is such that it's kind of set up for the studs and the front flipper. So the flipper tab is kind of weakish. You can easily use it if you just apply a little bit of force. But you guys know me with detents. I want a nice crispy one for every deployment method, which is why I usually avoid knives like this, because all the deployments equals something's got to give, right? But overall, I think the deployments are cool. They say there's 5 deployments. I guess they're counting thumb flick, reverse flick, front flip, back flip, and the button. But if you're counting the thumb and the reverse, then you might as well count a reach around and a rollback and go with 7. But whatever, 5 deployments, like a cormorant, right? Now, the cool feature on this is they have 2 features that are interesting, and they both kind of cause issues for me. So this is a button actuated liner lock. So it's very much like that Katuo Ventnor. Now, these came out first, but same concept, where you have a liner lock that you have a button attached to, and you can close it. You can close it like a liner lock if you want, or you can close it like a button lock. Your choice. I think that's pretty cool. Then the other feature they have is these blades on this knife and the Stratus are interchangeable. So you can buy whichever knife, and then you're able to blade swap or handle swap, whatever you want to call it. And that is something they advertise on their website, right? Now, there's 2 issues that I have with that. The first is the wording on the website, because they say here the blades on the dark bolt design knives are designed to be interchangeable, meaning the blade of one model will fit on the handle of another model. So that tells me they're trying to sell you both models so that you would blade swap them, right? They're saying, hey man, you could buy both, and then essentially you have 4 knives, right? Because you have a little bit different handle shape on each and a different blade shape. So here's the other one, by the way. It's like a clip point design. Similar handle, but it is different. Now, the issue I take with it is read the rest of this. However, slight variations in machining tolerances might prevent swapped blades from having a perfect fit, resulting in blade play, detent, centering, and lockup issues. We cannot guarantee the success of any blade swaps and can only provide warranty services on knives in their original configuration. For best results, follow the instructions on the video found here. Then it goes on to say the pocket clips are also interchangeable. However, they will only perform warranty services or only count warranty services on knives in their original configuration. That just makes no sense to me. You're gonna offer that you're advertising blade swaps, and then you're saying, well, if it doesn't work, you're shit out of luck. It's kind of weird, right? If you're gonna offer something like that, back that shit up. You know what I'm saying? If somebody hits you up, hey, I tried blade swapping, it's not working. You gotta warranty that however you have to. I mean, I guess maybe they're saying you gotta put it back into the original configuration, then send it in, but like, I don't know. It just seems odd to me. If it doesn't work, then don't even mention it, right? I don't know. So that's the one gripe. The other gripe is I took this apart, and you'll see here they actually have a video showing you how to take it apart, and they sell a tray, which I'll show you. They sell this tray to help you do blade swaps because, well, it's a pain in the ass. So the way this is set up, you cannot remove the button. So take these out. I'm not taking it all the way apart again, just because that was a nightmare, but you'll see the point here. So you have the top scale, and then you have the button, right? Well, guess what? That button cannot go through this liner, so you cannot lift this liner off of that button, okay? And when you take it apart from the other side, you can't do anything with the button. So no matter what you do, you're stuck with the 2 liners stuck together, with this thing kind of keeping it all together. So what you ultimately have to do to take this apart is take this pivot out, then you have to punch the pivot out the other side, okay? And then everything kind of just falls out of here. And then you have to maintenance your knife, and then you have to squeeze the blade in with the bearings on it, and then reassemble these standoffs and shit down here. You have to like kind of tuck them. You have to basically put it together like an integral, which is very strange. And if you watch their video, that's why they sell the tray, because the way they tell you to do their blade swaps is to take this out, punch the pivot out. Like, they don't even tell you to take apart the handle. So that eliminates cleaning. Like, you know, sometimes you need to get in there and clean the tracks and shit like that. But basically what they say to do is take this out, punch the pivot out the other side, open the knife, and then just pull the blade out with the bearings. And then take the other blade, pinch the bearings together, and kind of shove it into the handle like an integral. I don't know. I just find that weird too. So those 2 things kind of bugged me a little bit, because it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. Why not make it where you can just remove this thing? They do say this is Loctite. It's thread locked to the other side. And I tried to twist it off with my hand. I couldn't. I could probably grab it with a pair of Knipex and get it out, but I don't want to mar up anything. And, you know, I'm trying to do it the way that, you know, they say to do it because I'm trying to review the knife. But so those two things just kind of irked me a little bit. I don't think they're very well thought out. But other than that, they're not major deals, I guess, because I would never buy both to try to blade swap them. I don't know who's doing that. The handles are damn near identical. So maybe if you wanted like a color difference or something, I don't really see the point. You already bought two knives. Like, you know, they're not different enough for them to be swapped and make sense. If I was them, which they probably regret sending me this at this moment. If I was them, I would just remove any mention of the blade swapping from my website. Because if you're not going to back it up, I don't think it's worth it. And I really don't think it's worth it anyway. And then I would just make this removable somehow. There's got to be an easy way to do that. You know, put on this side where it threads in, put a T6 on the inside of the screw. And then you could just twist it out. You know, just twist it out this way or something. I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it. So that you can get the scales apart. Because if you watch my Katuo Ventnor disassembly, you can see it's easy. It's definitely doable. You know, I think I did a little finagling with that, but it wasn't bad. This was like, you know, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy the disassembly. So, but anyway, the knife is cool. I think the price point makes sense for what you're getting. I think this detent is breaking in a little bit, which is nice. And, you know, it's fidgety and cool, and it has a really cool locking mechanism. I mean, that's probably their thing, right? They have this cool locking mechanism, and I think it's great to have a button-actuated liner lock. We're seeing more of that stuff, and yeah. So, you know, there's a little bit of bad there for me personally, but there's also a lot of good. You know, it's comfortable in the hand. It's got a nice blade on it. It's nice and sharp. This is going to be able to do a lot of work. It's not going to be the sliciest knife, but it's also not like thick. It's just going to be a good EDC blade. I wish you could choke up, but I always wish that. I would have flipper deleted this personally because it's easier. Since the detent, you know, isn't great for the flipper, you could just make it would feel better for the front flipper because you wouldn't have to worry about your finger being in the path of the flipper tab. You know, I like the subtle milling lines. The clip works. Good tension, nice and strong. You know, I do think that the blade to handle ratio could have been better, but again, I think they were concerned about fitting that other blade in the handle. So because of that, they had to make sure both blades fit in both handles, and that means this one, you know, isn't exactly the best blade to handle ratio. You have that much left over. So there's just some stuff with that blade swap thing that doesn't track for me personally. But let me know if you guys have one of these, or if you've checked one out, if you have any thoughts on that yourself. And, you know, thank you to Dark Bolt Designs. I appreciate you guys sending this to me. I know you really just wanted feedback on the left-handed thing, and but, you know, this is ultimately, you know, I try to give my 100% honest opinion, and this is how I feel about this knife. I think it's cool, and I think there's a lot of good here. There's just a couple of things that I would change personally. But, yeah. All right, that's it. I love you guys. Thank you to Dark Bolt Design, and I'll link their website below. So if you guys want to pick one of these up, you certainly can. Maybe some of you guys love the idea of the blade swap thing. You don't mind having to kind of, you know, figure out the disassembly part. They do sell that tray, which I do appreciate. I think that's cool. that they have a dedicated tray and a video showing you how to do it. Definitely cool that they did that. So yeah. All right. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you later. Peace.